Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Pardon me, my name is Zach, and today we're looking at Ecomi Veve price as per usual, and of course some VeVe stuff. Currently the price 0.002644 on a low of 0.002338 and a high of 0.002664. Nothing really changing, although actually we're on a high right now of the 24 hours, so let's see if that goes up a little bit. Having said that, before we get into it, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Just made a video about Simpsons IP, some Disney stuff, because it is owned by the same company, so if you want to be aware of everything going on, make sure to follow me on @ZakiZoo. But with that being said, I want to have a look. So we've been looking at Crypto Crayon's channel, right? For one, I want to say now that I'm not signed in, which is why it says I'm not subscribed or anything. Like, just to show you real quick, if I click subscribe, it says sign in, right? So that's just a thing, right? Having said that, if we have a look at their video, and I've looked at the video already, it looks interesting, and we're going to do some analysis of it right now. That said, let's take a look at, is this Pikachu coming season 2? Now, before we get into it, I want to say I don't think so, but I do like what they're getting at. I do like what they're saying, so we're going to listen.
Okay, really quick, Pokemon League. So we'll go to David's page. He's following 170 people, and then the person that we are focused on today is Daniel. So, Daniel Arsham Studios. He does a lot of broken pieces. These have crystals on the inside. That's pretty cool. Actual card. That's pretty cool. Charizard. Okay, we got Charizard. We got, let's see. Okay, now we're going to check out this post. So, April 8th, 2020. Over the past year, I've had the fortunate opportunity to work with Pokemon Company and the animators from their studio. As the first visual artist to be granted access to the Pokemon archive, my intention with the project was not only bring the...
That itself is huge, right? First visual artist to be granted access to the Pokemon archive. My intention with the project was to not only bring the universe of Pokemon and the characters into my work, but to have my work infiltrate the Pokemon universe as well as a part of my collaboration with Pokemon. A collection of designs with Uniqlo and Uniqlo Art will be releasing April 24th online globally. My studio worked with the design team from the original series to create this animation, even using the real voice of Pikachu. Join me in Kanto over this next year as the special project rolls out.
Will be released April 24th online globally. My studio worked with the design team from the original series to create this animation, even using the real voice of Pikachu. Join me in Kanto over the next year as this special project rolls out. So this is what I believe is the piece that we could be getting.
For all your diamond hands out there, I mean...
Kind of loud. Normalizing the audio is never a bad idea, dude. Just a tip. I love the videos, no shade, but...
It's gonna have a certificate, have your own numbers.
I also don't know if it's copyrighted, so I'm kind of reluctant to even have the audio on, but this is an interview actually that we reacted to already on the channel, so if you want to check that out, by all means. But he's basically talking about the propaganda art, which I think he might even show. I know he shows it in this interview. Whether or not he talks about it here, I'm not sure. We're also going to look at this article. But essentially, in this video, David talks about a lot of stuff, but in this specific example, he's talking about how high quality, essentially, the propaganda collectibles are, because, in case you missed the memo, essentially, the propaganda NFTs, some of them come with real-life physical editions, too. Real quick, though, let's have a look at this Winklevoss twins called Daniel Arsham to sell him on NFTs. We're going to do that once this part of the video finishes off, I guess.
Or it can be a non-fungible.
Like I say, I'm going to turn off the audio because I don't really want the music to, you know, we're monetized now, which you can probably tell by the ads on this video. But therefore, I'm not taking any chances. Let's have a quick look, though, at the Bloomberg article that Crypto Crayons spoke about. So here's actually where he's bringing up the Diamond Hands propaganda thing, which we'll probably see now, unless, okay, Crypto Crayons literally cut it off just before he got to it. That's okay. Anyway. Let's have a quick look at this Winklevoss twins cold core Daniel Arsham to sell him on NFTs article. 2 years later, the superstar artist drops into a cooling market. 2 years ago, when Tyler Winklevoss acquired the online marketplace Nifty Gateway with his brother Cameron, NFTs were still a long way from going mainstream. To popularize the site, which sells digital artwork tied to non-fungible tokens, essentially Well, we all know that. Our feeling was great content and great creators was what would make the difference, Tyler says in a phone interview. So the Winklevoss twins drew up a wish list of artists they wanted to work with and began to send them direct messages on Twitter and Instagram. It was very grassroots. The majority of outreach happened on social media initially. Enthusiasm could generously be described as muted. If I tried to describe what an NFT was, the hit rate was a lot lower than if I just said, hey, I got a crypto idea I'd like to discuss with you. One of the first people who got back to him was Daniel Arsham, a fine artist whose monochromatic sculptures appeal to high-end collectors and street art fans alike. To his credit, he totally got it, and he was open-minded enough to meet with us in 2019. That is impressive. This was before there was anything on the internet about NFTs, no rooms in Clubhouse talking about this thing, and he got the idea. 2 years later, the effort of that first DM borne fruit. On May 22nd, the first of 10 NFTs designed by Arsham, which he calls digital sculptures, will be released on Nifty Gateway. The first release, titled Eroding and Reforming Bust of Rome, will be an limited edition costing 1.5k. Anyone who buys all 10 will get the 11th for free, etc. So this definitely shows that Daniel Arsham had worked on NFTs before, or at least has had his artwork become an NFT. The dates and prices for the subsequent artworks are still under discussion. Daniel waited for the moment where he could really harness the medium in a way that could demonstrate to collectors and frankly the whole art world what is exactly possible with programmable art. He didn't just jump in immediately. A question of timing. While this is a testament to Arsham's methodical approach to making art, it could also mean he's missed the initial NFT gold rush. In the past 30 days, the number of daily sales have steadily decreased from nearly 151k to 120k roughly. Now, this stuff doesn't really matter as much to me, honestly. But the point is that Arsham has definitely been interested in NFTs and open-minded from the very get-go, which they've worked with this Nifty Gateway, but that doesn't mean that he's sold exclusive rights to all his work. He won't have. There's no way he'll have done that. So my guess is that he's open to doing NFTs because he's done them already, and honestly it just means that we might see actual Pokemon NFTs from him. Now if we have a look further on Crypto Crayon's videos, we'll learn more. But I'm going to skip past the music.
This is Liquid Lizard at the museum viewing Daniel Arsham's piece, and you see him with the Pokeball. Watch. Look at that. Now check out Dave Ashby. Now look at these dots, right? And then with the LiDAR technology, it can actually read the barn door. May 20th, just 10 days ago, guys. But check this out.
Now I've actually had a look at this Instagram myself, Dave Liquid Lizard, and oh my gosh, I forget that you can't do it. Maybe if I click on that, actually, maybe it'll let me. I think it might. Here we go. So you have to middle click it, I guess. So here we have
Squirtle, Squirtle.
How dope is that?
Oh my god, no! Squirtle! What did you do?
Okay. Let's just let that sink in for a moment. So we have Dave right here. There's voice lines on the Charmander.
Squirtle, Squirtle.
I don't actually know if that's a Charmander. I'm just reading from the description. And then suddenly,
Oh my god,
now,
no!
this right here, whilst I'm watching it from a personal point of view. Ooh, again, I got to do it again, don't I? Bear in mind that these are animated, right? And VeVe is working with third-party AAA studios for this sort of thing, right? Now, this stuff only has 30k views, and it was posted about 11 days ago, right? This person has 45k followers. That is crazy. That means that they are growing a lot very fast, I would assume, right? Because if the number of followers that you have is almost the same amount as the number of views, it means that you're going up. I know that as someone who has a following on multiple different accounts, they're definitely growing now. more important thing than anything about that, right now at least for VeVe, is when this becomes a possibility, right? When it comes to the mainstream, when it comes to TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, etc., people are going to be wanting to make awesome films out of this, play around with it, make content out of it, and it's going to be free marketing for VeVe. We speak about this a lot on this channel because it's so important. It's called earned media, where VeVe don't have to pay for promotion because they've earned the promotion as it is anyway. And this is extremely exciting. Now, of course, that's from a marketing point of view, but this is, of course, about VeVe necessarily seeing Pokemon. Season 2, I think, is a bit early, but how cool is this?
Motion tracking.
What do you do? Oh my god, no! Squirtle! What do you do?
I don't know, guys.
Just more of what we've seen, right? So we have birds on the birdhouse here. My Pokemon. This would go crazy if it was actually marketed. So, does this mean that Pokemon Pikachu is coming in season 2? I don't think so. I think our likelier is to see a Marvel / DC, one or the other announcement. Obviously, we already have DC announcements because we already got DC. We already have DC NFTs. Marvel, I would imagine, could be next potentially, but I don't see Pokemon licensing as fast as this. I think maybe we'll see it either early next year, or I might be really wrong, and I hope I am, and we might see it in season 2. Because if I remember correctly, aren't seasons every 6 months? So actually, yeah, maybe we will see it in season 2, but it'll be a lot later. I'm not sure if there are any events coming up for Pokemon, sorry, this year that they might want to advertise this with. But at the same time, are they going to advertise with NFTs that early anyway? I don't think so. Because of course this is meant to be a long run. So personally, I think a season going to be season 2 to season 4, which means that we're either going to see it from this next 6 months, or we're going to see it sometime in the next year, essentially. That's my guess. But I'd love to hear your take on this. Maybe I'm being cynical. Some people will think I'm being overly optimistic. So, you know, it works either way. But yeah, no, that's just my own personal thoughts. And of course, I'd love to hear your take on all of that right now. Obviously, we've missed out a bunch of really important information regarding like the whole background of how we could see Pokemon. But that's because we've already gone over that many times on the channel, going over Alfred Kahn, going over David Yu's history, bringing Pokemon over to New Zealand back in '97. Like, obviously the leads of Ecomi are absolute pros in this sort of thing, and if anyone's going to do it, I feel like it would be them. But of course, that's betting on the jockey, not the horse. So let me know what your take is on that, all that good stuff. Right now we are still going into highs, which is cool. Looks like this hasn't updated. Oh yeah, no, it has actually. No, we've gone down a little bit, but that's fine. Either way, it's pretty much very similar. We all know it. That being said, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.